This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by Tunnell Raysor.
Well, if you sold your house or maybe you got rid of some property, you have to invest the money you made into more real estate, right? Wrong.
That's a common myth many of us, including right here in our office, thought was true. And joining us today to help us sort out our property tax woes is attorney Susie Mitchell from the law firm of Tunnell Raysor in Sussex County. Susie, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
The first, we all hear about capital gains tax, and you heard me mention, we all have to pay those taxes if we sell our property, but that's not the case.
Not always. It is not always the case. There are two provisions in the Internal Revenue Code that give us a break on capital gains taxes. The first is Section 121, which deals with the sale of a primary residence. A residence uses your home. And the second is Section 1031, which deals with the sales of business or investment property, real estate that you hold for business or investment purposes.
Now, if you research the 1031 exchange, the official language states, and I'm going to read this here, no gain or loss shall be recognized on the exchange of property held for productive use in trade or business, or for investment in such property is exchanged solely for property of like kind, which is to be held either for productive use in a trade or business or for investment. I don't know what I just said.
So but you said it nice and fast. I don't think you breathed.
Welcome to the Internal Revenue Code.
Can you kind of bring it down to our level?
What that means is if I hold a piece of real estate that I'm using for business or investment purposes, and I sell it and take the money and reinvest it in another piece of property that I'm going to hold for business or investment purposes, the Internal Revenue Service will allow me to defer liability for capital gains taxes. What they're saying is, you don't have to pay us your capital gains taxes now. You can pay it later.
Okay.
When we sell the replacement property, the new property, then they want it, unless you reinvest again. Mm-hmm. So it is a deferral provision.
The way you said it is much easier. What about the provision that will help when you sell a primary residence?
The primary residence provision is called Section 121, and that is a much simpler provision to understand. If I have a property that I have lived in for 2 of the past 5 years, any 2-year period, whether it's consecutive or not, and I sell my house, I do not have to pay capital gains taxes on my first $250,000 of gain for a single person or $500,000 worth of gain for a married person. So in that case, I don't have to reinvest in more real estate. I can just take the money and go on a cruise. Put my kids through college.
At that point, right? All right. Now, what other areas of law come into play with our taxes?
Well, with respect to the sale of real estate, what consumers or taxpayers need to be wary of, I think, is that 1031 deals with business or investment property. Section 121 deals with the primary home. But what we commonly see here is the vacation home or the second home. And there is no tax break for sale of the vacation home or the property used as a second home. We often work with our clients to help them change the characterization of a second home to a business or investment home or a primary residence before the sale so that they can get the tax break that way.
All right, a lot of great information. So, and you made it sound all so easy.
As always, thank you so much, Susie.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And if you would like more information on the exemption allowed by the IRS upon sale of a primary home or on conducting a 1031 exchange when selling a business or investment property, or to set up an appointment with Susie at the law firm of Tunnell Raysor, just go to our website, delmarvalife.com.
And Susie knows her stuff. Still to come on Delmarva Life with jam-packed schedules. It's often hard to make appointments for our well-being.
So imagine this. Eyewear care and repair from the comfort of your home. We'll learn about that service next.
But before we get to that, Dr. Oz tells us what our eyes say about our overall health.
Hi, I'm Dr. Oz. Your eyes can reveal a lot about your health. If the whites of your eyes appear yellow, it could be a sign of liver infection or hepatitis. Bulging eyes can mean hyperthyroidism. A sty that won't go away can signify a cancerous cyst. So keep an eye on your eyes and see your eye doctor regularly.